and I apologize, like real people, that I'm a human being and I'm not to be treated as a character, and that, I love people, and, there are people out there that do support me, and, I want to let the world know that, I am going to change, but my actions will speak louder than words. Yeah, we're going on the break, but we still talk to each other every single day. And if we see each other, we will always be best friends. But we're just going on a break to settle things in our family's lives, her family, my family, and, everyone knows the outcome. You'll probably see us together in December.
You don't like being immersed in an environment where the cameras are following you around and where you just can't be yourself.
Right, I don't invite them. I mean, they're just there. I just live with it now for, 11 months? And it's weird. I don't know. I just don't get it.
And wherever you go, there's this kind of reaction.
Yeah, it's amazing that, thank God you guys show up, but please, stop showing up.
Are you wondering why the media is so interested in your story?
Yeah, every day I look in the mirror and I wonder, I don't sing, I don't dance. I'm not a Nobel Peace Prize winner. It's hard now because I think I'm just misunderstood. Like I said, I'm not a fame seeker. It's funny to me, going to France and there's paparazzi there. Going to Pennsylvania, and I live on a 24-acre farm and there's 15 paparazzi standing outside my house. It's hilarious to me when, I'm in the middle of 650 acres and I got 15 paps standing outside my house. It's so weird. It's just out of place and out of touch.
So you're saying you don't want this?
No, I never asked for it. I never invited anyone. I don't have, the only cameras that ever followed me around were TLC, and that was only 3 days a week. There was work. It's a job. And then all of a sudden, I saw our marriage disintegrating, and, we're heading towards divorce. And
do you think fame contributed to the deterioration of your marriage?
I can't answer that. Maybe when I'm older and I look back. Right now, I'm caught up in the mix of everything, so I can't really say. Maybe. I wouldn't say
if a family, let's say a couple has problems. You know that I've counseled many married couples.
It adds pressure.
Right. Well, it highlights everything.
Right, because you guys are focusing on it and nitpicking it and picking it apart, and we're just trying to get through it, and it's so emotional that you don't get to actually sit down and really think about it.
As the marriage began to deteriorate, and since you guys were on television, was there a feeling that some of the problems were not going to be addressed because the needs of the show were such that addressing issues that were arising could not be part of the storyline?
I agree. Our marriage started to go downhill in October of last year, and we're right in the middle of filming, and we had to let TLC know, I'm sitting on the sofa next to a woman that I'm not going to be married to anymore. And, to do that, you could see us slowly separating. There was like a gap. Every episode we got further and further, and now look, we're on separate chairs. And now look me, I'm not even on the show anymore. They wanted us to stay married, obviously, because continue the show, and then you think of the business end of it, and they teach you about branding and marketing and, all this stuff that, it's just stuff. It's not like, as Christians, we looked at it as raising a family and staying together for our children, and, it just started to disintegrate and disintegrate and disintegrate. Meanwhile, you have all the outside pressures of the media and the TLC and everything going on, and you're like, am I doing the right thing? And you start questioning yourself because of business, not questioning yourself because of your morals. And the problem, I think, with the show, too, well, there's a couple things. There was conflict, no resolve. So they'd film conflict, but you'd never see the resolve. And Kate and I always resolved our issues. Whether it was off or on camera, they decided not to use it. So now you have Kate being the evil person, me being the laid-back person. It's always good cop, bad cop. If we were good and good or bad and bad, there'd be no show, because then there'd be nothing. There'd be no meat or fodder or anything that you could actually sell. The other thing is timeline. We didn't take a break till like December of last year, and that was like the first break in 4 years, and we filmed straight through because they wanted to keep the show going in sequential order. But timeline's important because you see us together, And then, but we're going through technically a divorce. So America sees us together, but the next day, you know, I'm off by myself doing things, Kate's off by herself doing things. So people start to wonder, like, well, didn't I see him last night with his wife and now he's not with his wife? You know, so things play into that, you know. And then, you know, the essence of producers, no offense to any producers in the room, adding to the fodder, you know, or...
Of wanting things that make news, right? And that create drama on the show, because that's what the public seems to want, and that boosts ratings.
Right. Like you say, a train wreck.
That people want to see a train wreck.
Right. You go to NASCAR to see what? You don't see them driving around a circle. You go to NASCAR to see them wreck. I mean, they're driving 200 miles an hour. That's what my life was starting to turn into.
One of the reasons, perhaps, they weren't being addressed is that the interests of the show were such that if the problems increased, it was better for the show.
Correct. The ratings went up. It's obvious. It's completely obvious. You know, when everything was happy-go-lucky, you're scoring like Nielsen 2s and 3s. And then you look at, you know, our last episode together when we're saying we're getting a divorce, we're at 10.8. You know, I mean, and
people love
they promoted it. Do you know what I mean? They fed into it. We didn't even let our kids watch because they were promoting it. They were showing the dissolution of our marriage, promoting it, running ads on that, and making money off of it.